Has the GH Tech confirmed your PhD?
Yeah, it was confirmed.
Did you submit it to them?
Yeah, so you have
So we're not going to see something says, Dr. Duah cannot use the word doctor, stop using doctor before your name.
So actually you write a letter, so I think I did that in 2020, yeah.
All right. Your profile doesn't give the impression that you're a statistician, but the work that you've conducted, which we're about to review, is statistics.
So this is the most important thing here, and I would say the same thing. I saw that normally when such polls are out, the first thing that they do is they compare with other people. Now, the very renowned poster that people mention, his name is a chartered accountant like I am.
Mussa Dankwah?
Yes.
He's not a statistician?
He's a chartered accountant, so we are all chartered accountants.
Okay.
So the bottom line...
Is there something about chartered accounting and polls?
So we deal with numbers. So that's the most important thing. So accounting is actually about numbers. Finance is about numbers. So we're actually good with numbers.
Do you know him?
I don't have any relationship with him, but I know him.
So we shouldn't be worried that you don't have a background in statistics and you've conducted polls?
Not at all, not at all. I'm a researcher. We do a lot of research work. And I've done research work in the industry and I've done research work in academia. So I have both industry background and academic background. So
I'll be inviting you to the touch screen, but before then, let me show viewers what we're dealing with over here. Okay. Viewers, thank you for staying with us. Yeah, let's get on to this. So we have two clear polls now, which are giving us varying outcomes, and they're all looking at the numbers, except that their database, their research base, in terms of the number of people they poll is slightly different, or perhaps not significantly different. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, to the left of the screen here is Mussa Dankwah, my friend. You remember him? You remember Mussa Dankwah? You do, isn't it? All right. This is Mussa Dankwah, and this is Doc Duah in the studio. So on Muhammadu Bawumia, for instance, Mussa Dankwah puts Muhammadu Bawumia at 57% from all the polls that he's conducted, including the latest one. We're dealing with the latest one. But Mussa Dankwah had consistently had Muhammadu Bawumia up on the agenda, on the table. So he puts Mussa Dankwah at 57%. Dr. Duah puts Muhammadu Bawumia at 40%. Is that a best case scenario, Doc, or is it a worst case scenario?
It's a worst case scenario.
We'll be discussing that best and worst case. So for Dr. Duah, he presents the data in a best case scenario and a worst case scenario. I don't know whether Mussa Dankwah does that, but he didn't show us that on his page. What he showed us is Muhammadu Bawumia 57%, and Dr. Duah has Muhammadu Bawumia at 40%. Kennedy Agyapong, Mussa Dankwah has him at 29%, and then he has Kennedy Agyapong here as 44%. And then Dr. Osei Oduchu, Mussa Dankwah has him at 6%, Dr. Duah has him as 3%. Dr. Brian Agyapong, Mussa Dankwah has him at 5%, Dr. Duah has him at 6%. Kwabena Agyapong, Mussa Dankwah has him at 3%, and Dr. Duah has him at 1%. Mussa Dankwah has something called undecided voters. Did you get it? That's not reflected in our presentation here. But Mussa Dankwah has undisclosed and undisclosed and what? Undecided voters. We don't. That's not reflected in the. But let's see whether this comes up to 100%. 57 plus 29. What's it going to be? That's 86, I think. 86 plus 6 is going to be 92. 92 plus 5 is going to be 97. 97 plus 3 is going to be 100%. So I think that is the full, here there's no reflection here of undecided. Let's check out this one. Okay, 40 plus 44 is 84. 84 plus 3 is 87. 87 plus 6 is 93. 93 plus 1 is 94. Why is it short of 100, if I may ask?
6% for undecided and undisclosed.
Okay, you have 6% for undecided and undisclosed. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So this is the discrepancy that we're going to try and, we can't resolve it, but we're just going to get into Dr. Duah's mind to understand how he came to the conclusion, but we want viewers to see that this is where we are. And this is the same figures put differently. Muhammadu Bawumia at 57%, for Mussa Dankwah, Kennedy Agyapong at 29%, Osei Oduchu at 6%, Brian Agyapong at 5%, Kwabena Agyapong comes up the rear at 3%. And so, okay, it's time now for me to invite you, Dr. Duah. Come up the touch screen. Let's deal with the matters in toto, as they say. Okay, so so here are the candidates, Dr. Duah. Did you speak to any of them in terms of telling them you're doing a poll or indicating to them something about the results or something like that?
No, so I've not.
Do you know them?
I know them. I know them.
Who do you know better?
Who do I know better? So I know Engineer Kwabneje Agyapong. He was like a godfather figure for me.
Also, he knows you?
He knows me very well.
All
Personally,
right.
he knows me. I know Dr. Yaoseduchu because of Ashanti region. I know him. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I was actually seen declaring for him during December, campaigning with video. And
you campaigned with Dr. Bawumia?
I campaigned for him.
You campaigned for him?
I joined the campaign.
The NPP campaign?
Yes, and I have videos online where I'm actually vouching for him in 2024 December. And it's online. I put it just this December.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you know him well then?
I don't have the personal relationship with him, but yes, I've worked for him.
Brian?
Brian, I don't have any relationship with him.
Brian is a lion of the Ko Mountains.
Yes.
Kennedy Agyapong?
I actually met him for the first time in person in December when we were campaigning for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And that was just a campaign trail.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so I didn't have any personal relationship with him. And then he met me in July. I just returned from Harvard. And then there was a student's SRC program that was happening on my campus, and he was the guest speaker. So it was him, the vice chancellor, and myself, plus 4 other speakers. And then that was the first time that he heard me speak. I didn't have any relationship with him at all, to July.
Okay, sample and data collection. Yes. So first tell us, what's a sample size, as they say in statistics?
Yes, so basically, if you look at the sample size, we are looking at the population. So as at 2023, the verified voters in 2023 was 204,893.
The delegates vote of the
delegates,
204,000
yes,
people.
From the album,
yeah,
the official album. However, there is an amendment, but there is an ongoing verification for the new appointees, the former executives, the former appointees, and then the former executives, but they have not been added yet. So this one is as of 2023, and as of October, I put October there because there is a new addition that would be happening, but they're doing the verification. For the sample side, in August, we did 20,000, which was 10%. And then for September and October, we did 26,000. Now, for percentage-wise, this is 12% for September, and we did 10% actually in August.
You spoke to 26,000 people.
So we sampled 26,150 delegates. Out of them, 6,282 were either unreachable or unavailable. Unreachable simply means that we called the number, couldn't go through. Either the number was wrongly inputted, it was no longer being used. Unavailable, we got the person on the phone. But unfortunately, the person tells you, I'm at church, I'm at work, I'm not in a position to talk to you. So out of that, if you look at it carefully, 19,868 are the people that participated out of the 26,150. And we need to declare all of this for people to understand the entire process and how it was done. And then we had one...
So you spoke to 19,000?
19,800. So we did that between September 22nd to October 5th.
How many people were speaking to the 19,000?
So we had 120 volunteers, but we're having between 20 to 50 in a day that were actively doing that.
And you spoke to 19,000?
19,000, yes. And I have the audios. And you know, some of these things are subject to scrutiny. So what I do is that, for a platform like yours, I don't think you just bring anybody without going through scrutiny. So the best thing that you do is to ask the person the process, do everything. And I play the audios for quality assurance. Unfortunately, for ethical reasons, we can't put the audios in the public domain. However, if anybody wants it for evidence purpose, anybody wants to verify the process, wants to see how we did the sampling, follow through everything, it is all there. And I don't mind. I've done that with about 8 journalists. They verified it. Today, where I was, I showed it to them, and I show it to everybody.
Oh, I see. You had journalists listen to the audio.
Yes, listen. That's we played for quality assurance purposes.
It's quite interesting. Yeah. Now, where did you draw the 19,000 from? Is it constituency, police station, Southern Ghana, Northern Ghana? How did you do it?
So this was done for all the 16 administrative regions, and this was for all constituencies. Now, we did what we call quota sampling. In simple terms, proportional. So, for example, if a constituency is about 1,400, another constituency is 400. You can't pick 100 here and 100 there. It will not be representative. So what we do is that if it is a 10% coefficient, it means that we are picking 140 for the 1,400, and we are picking 40 for that. So that will be representative.
So the representation by percentage will be the same across board.
Will be the same.
So if my constituency is 800 people, you are picking 10%, you pick 80.
80.
If another constituency is 600 people, you are picking 10%, you pick 60.
Exactly.
So the numbers will not be the same,
yes,
but the representation is about the same.
Exactly.
Okay, excellent. So you have a maximum 5 minutes per interaction. What does that mean?
So what happens is that we give them a time frame, but they were asking 3 questions, 3 major questions. The first question is that who did you vote for in 2023?
In the primaries.
In the primaries. And then the person will tell them, I voted for candidate A. Then they come to 2026. Who would you vote for come January 2026? Because I'll vote the same candidate A. And then we ask the person, if you have a change of mind about your candidate and the other 4 candidates, who would you prefer?
Where are you more likely to go if you are changing your mind?
And that one, we called it as the next best alternative. And that is where we use that one. So when we come to the best case and the worst case, I'll explain that one to you, details. So we make them spend maximum 5 minutes because sometimes you get people giving you straight answers within a minute or 2. Sometimes you get people who are very passionate that would want to talk. We had somebody who spoke for 8 minutes and we had to just tell the person it's okay, we have to move on to the next person. So we make sure that within 5 minutes so that we can achieve the targets that we set for ourselves.
Okay, so this is the basis. Now let's get into that. So this is our video 1, producer. This is the end of video 1, the basis of the research. Now let's get into it. Okay, so scenario construction.
Exactly. So for this one, because it's English, let's move on to the main table. Then I'll explain it. The numbers will make it easier for people.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the worst case scenario, and this is the best case scenario.
What does that mean?
Exactly. So the worst case scenario for my model simply means the most realistic scenario. This scenario does not...
That's what best.
The worst.
Worst case scenario is the most realistic
scenario.
So worst case scenario outcome is more likely than best case scenario. Is that what you're saying?
The worst case scenario is actually the data we gathered from the people without knowing the undecided and undisclosed. So what it means is that we are getting 94%.
That's the worst case scenario.
That's the worst case scenario. Where the 94% have told us exactly who they are voting for.
But there is a group who have not told you.
Who have not told us. And this is where I think online some people were saying that it doesn't tally, there's 192 here, there's 204, but they don't see the asterisks, they don't see the footnotes. And the footnote, I'm an accountant who like using footnotes a lot, so put asterisks there, number 1, number 2, and then we'll tell you to go and read the footnote. So the footnote here tells us the difference of the 6%.
I'll read that, that controversial response, rebuttal, so that you can respond to viewers. I'll come to that. But hold on. So the best case scenario.
Yes. So I'm here to move to the best case
scenario. The worst case scenario is the one that is without undecided voters and undisclosed voters.
Yes. So in that case...
hold on. So if you're polling 100 people, and 10 of them don't talk.
Yes.
The worst case scenario is over the 90, is the results from the 90.
Yes.
And the best case scenario is the results from when the 10 speak.
No. So what is actually happening is that for the worst case scenario, we're having all the 100.
In worst case, you have all the 100.
All the 100.
Best case, you don't have all the 100.
I'm yet to even come to the best case. I'm still with the worst case. Once you understand, then I can proceed.
Okay, what's the worst case?
With the worst case scenario, with that 94%, what is actually happening is that 94% have told us exactly who they are voting for. Then there's 6%, which means 6 of them, who are telling us, unfortunately, I can't tell you who I will vote for.
Or haven't decided.
So that won't be undisclosed. The person is not comfortable telling us. And then there's those who are also confused about who they, and those are the undisclosed.
So that's best case scenario?
No, still with the worst case.
That's
worst case scenario.
What's the best?
But now when we move to the best case scenario, there are actually 3 variables that come to play. Variable number 1 is the undecided. Variable number 2 is the undisclosed. Variable number 3 is the next best alternative. So what do we do with the undecided and undisclosed? So we had about 12,000 for people that were undecided and undisclosed. What do? We put that data together, and then we do not want to assume. So for example, I heard from one of the other posters, some other posters saying that a number of undecided or undisclosed people would vote for this person. We didn't want to assume. So we picked that data again. Instead of the very first person that called that constituency, we give it to another person, a different person, to call them and see if some of them this time will move from undisclosed to disclosed and move from undecided to decided. Then we'll give it to a third, to a fourth person. By the time we are done with the fourth person, out of the 12,000, we're having about 3,000 now revealing who they are going to vote for. Now, because we are dealing with sampling, that 3,000 can be, and because we get a pattern within that 3,000, we can now extrapolate from that 3,000 all the way to that 12,000 that is undecided and non-disclosed, and say that 60% of these people are for this candidate A, 30% are for this. Then we can now apportion it. So that's how come, if you look at it, on this table, I did not include the undecided and undisclosed. But when you look at the report, when we even on the next page with the regions, you see the undecided and undisclosed.
Which so is how many of them? What percentage of them did you get to talk?
So actually, what happened with it is that with the undecided and undisclosed, each one of them has a different variant. So we got 30% for undecided, and then we got 40% for undisclosed. Now, the undisclosed people, majority of them is about the confidence they have with who they are talking to. Once they get to that point, they realize, oh, it's not another candidate's camp calling to know. Once they get to know, there is no fear revealing who. They are more likely to quickly let you know. The undecided, they are still in the process of deciding about who they want to vote for. So those people, we had 30 and then we had 40.
When you are speaking to delegates in Zulu Hopper, do you speak Ewe? Do your people speak Ewe to them?
So that's very, so my personal assistant, Maxwell here, he speaks Ewe.
Okay.
And he and Emilia and other people who speak Ewe called those from voter. And then we had to get somebody from the north. And all these audios I can review something.
When you are speaking to delegates from Ladade to Point or do you speak in Ghana?
So we had to get one or two people, but most of the times when you speak English, it goes with them. Where we think we get to a barrier, then we bring in a special person that can speak that language.
When you are speaking to delegates in Ukugwa and Dukrom, do you speak Mente?
So those people, 3 English majority worked around. Where we had a challenge was with some parts of the north and some parts of Volta, and we had to get people to assist with it. But majority of the country, English 3 worked with it.
When you are speaking to delegates in Tamale North, do you speak in Dagbani?
So I think most of them, as far as Dagbani, we didn't have a problem with that. The English was okay with it.
So in the worst case scenario, you say what? You got 44% for Kennedy Agyapong.
Yes.
39% for Mahmoud Bawumia, 6% for Brian Agyapong, and 3%. So when you statisticians say that I've spoken to 19,000 people out of a potential of 200,000 that are going to vote, and you are making an extrapolation and a prediction, for me, a layman, 19,000 is a whole world away from 200,000. Yeah. How do you make the determination? Is it human behavior? Is it sociology that because we all speak a certain language, we are likely to vote in the same way? Is it because we all eat the same food, we are likely to vote? I don't understand it.
So what normally we say in research is, first and foremost, you state your biases, you state your limitations. And if you are stating your biases, the number one bias about some of this one is the non-response. The number one bias is that it's temporary, it's within a period. So this one is not predictive, it's a snapshot for September. So what is actually happening is that though we were able to talk to 19,000 people, there is homogeneity that we assume within the delegates. These are number one, NPP people. Number two, these are executives from the polling station all the way to the executives for the constituency. These are people that if you do random sampling and you get 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 randomly, you begin to have an idea where the majority of them, their mindset goes. So the first thing about research is that your sampling technique is very important. And how we do this is that make sure that number one, it is representative, it is significant, and also ensure that you are getting it right with a random sampling so that there are no biases that will be. So for example, what we do is that we put it into the system, it pulls the random one out, then we get the album to get the face of who they are talking to. The reason why we use the album to give it to them to get the face is that if you're dealing with an adult, then you realize that for the adult, I would have to use this tone. You're dealing with a younger person so that you know who and how to approach the person.
Okay, man and woman you would know.
Yes,
but their ages you might not know from their names.
No, the ages are there. In the album, the ages are there.
Oh, the ages are there. Yes, so why do you need a photograph to determine whether it's old or young?
Oh, no. Sometimes some of the ages are wrong. So you can see someone...
You mean football age?
I don't know football age or data mistake or whatever, but you can see someone who looks like 50 and the age is 22. And I think maybe it was data input error or something. And these ones, anybody who has the album can attest to that there are 1 or 2 errors in terms of data inputting that happens. Yeah.
Nah. That's interesting. So this is your 44% for Kennedy Agyapong, and 39 is not a prediction of what will happen in January.
No.
Is it an indication?
It's an indication as at September.
September, and so it could change by December.
Actually, it changed from the August polls to the September already.
Oh, you had August polls?
We had August polls. So the August, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong was at 41%, and he has increased by 3%. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was at 39.09, and he has also increased. So you could see that there is a significant increase here, but a marginal increase here. However, there is a gain. Dr. Yause Duchum has also increased from 2% in August to 3%. Agyapong from 0.3 to 0.86%. So that's as at August. But where we had the difference was with Dr. Agyapong. He was at 8% in August, and he dropped. And his drop was actually in Eastern region, and then
in his home region.
In his own region, but it wasn't that big. It dropped. However, he had some drop at certain places. So you could.
He had a rise in certain places.
He had some rise, especially in the northern sectors. Yes, he had.
But Agyapong had some rise in the northern sectors.
Actually, surprisingly, the northern is shaping differently. I would.
Oh, the northern is not a shoe-in for Dr. Bawumia.
It is still for him. It is still for him as 50+1, as who is leading.
But in the 5 northern regions.
In the 5 northern regions, but the dynamics, but still, Savannah is actually still swing. I treat Savannah, Uchi, Buno East. I have these 5. I treat them as swing because the competition there, things can change.
Okay, so that's the end of another video. All right, let's move on. Okay, so what are these?
So this one is just the best and the worst case scenario. Now, what you see here is that 44.11% for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. His highest potential is 53%. What it means that as of September, if there is any one of them that can cross the 50+1 for September, is Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. However, as we are always saying, this is the best case scenario and that is the worst case scenario. And the case of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and this is a question that people are asking, that 39.5, but for his best case scenario, he drops. So this is...
Hold it. How is his best case scenario worse than his worst case scenario? Exactly. Nobody understands that.
Exactly. So I think that's where most of the people called in and I had to explain to them. So it's not the worst case scenario for the candidates. It's the worst case scenario for the contest. What it means that in this contest, the data for worst case scenario, we've not interpreted it. We've not added anything to it. A is for A, B is for B. That's what it is. But in the best case scenario, 3 variables are happening. The undecided for which they stood at 40, for example, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong stood at 44, but there's 6% of undecided or undisclosed who are definitely going to be now added to these candidates eventually. So, for example, if you pick the one that you projected for Mussa Dankwah, his was 100% because he has already added the undecided and undisclosed. So in our best case scenario, the undecided and undisclosed has been added. But we did not just do an assumption. We took another sample size out of it, and out of it, we were able to now extrapolate to see where the undecided and then the undisclosed people are. So if we do that, then there's a third variable, which we asked them. If you are voting for, in 2026, you say you vote for candidate A, who is your next best alternative? Then they say candidate B. It is a simple win or lose. It's 100%. If somebody...
Is that added to the best case scenario?
Yes.
That's the next alternative.
Yes,
it's added to the best case scenario. So if I can summarize it this way, am I correct? You say that if I'm pulling 100 people, the best case scenario is a reference to the context. Best case scenario means I got all 100 talking to me.
Yes.
Worst case scenario is that I got only 90 talking to me.
Yes.
So in the worst case scenario of 90, Paul Adomochiri can get 40%. And in the best case scenario, he can reduce.
Yes.
Because when you come to the undecided and undisclosed, they say they are voting for the other guy.
Yes.
And then when you come to the next best, Paul Adomochiri doesn't get many of the next best.
So the degree of change is with the next best alternative because undecided and undisclosed come to add. So for nothing at all, people should remain constant. If nothing adds to me. But because of the next best alternative, people can reduce. Because let's assume we are 2 people. I have 2 loaves of bread. You have 2 loaves of bread. We are looking at a possibility of increase for any one of us. I can move to 3. I can move to 4. If I move to 3, I'll take one of your loaf of bread, which means you'll be left with 1, and I would have 3. So in the best case scenario, as someone gains, somebody pays for that gain.
Oh, that's interesting. I hope viewers, I hope you get it. It took me a long time. Forgive me, it took me a long time to get it. But I think that the boys from Accra Academy will take a while for them to get it. So Accra Academy waits small, At Disco and Kwaboche, I think they have it. St. Augustine's, they'll get it tomorrow. It will be long. As for Presec, we get it right now. We got it. That's a science college, isn't it?
So I'm an amount for.
Oh yeah. Oh, Prempeh College is the one teaching us, so that's not bad. So you see, the interesting. So it means that from your data research, Kennedy Agyapong is gaining more in the next best.
Yes.
So people who are saying, I'll vote for Brian Agyapong, you ask them, if you won't vote for Brian Agyapong, if you have to, where will you go? I go to Kennedy.
Yes.
People who are voting for Kwabena Agyapong, assuming you vote for Kwabena Agyapong, who do you vote? They go to Kennedy.
Exactly.
And for the Kennedy people, when you ask them, where is theirs going?
So for Kennedy, surprisingly, the next best alternative for Kennedy is actually going for 1, 2, 3.
All three of them are sharing.
All three of them are sharing. And then he has some for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But remember, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia previously had 61%. It means that he was the biggest winner previously for the 2023. And then if people are taken away from him, he becomes the biggest loser too.
Oh, I get it.
Do you get
so part of the reason why Dr. Bawumia may be a loser in the second best is that he is the pole position. He's the target.
Exactly. He's the main contender that everybody takes away from, and that's what happens. But this can change by
But Kennedy was also holding 37% from 2023.
Yes, but you're having more of the people switching.
More of which people switching?
From Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So Kennedy is holding most of his 37% from the old one?
No, yes, compared to the others, yes, he holds. Compared to the other three candidates.
Was Kwabena Agyapong not in the last? Oh no, he left at the first stage.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the end of another video. Let's look at this one. What's this now?
So there's the nominal values that we've discussed. So we can move on to the next.
Okay, so this is about the same. Okay, what's this now?
And this one is the region. So
the original, yeah.
Yes, the original one. But let's move to the percentages. It's easier for people to understand on the percentages.
So
the next one. So it's the same thing.
All right.
So what happens is that in Ashanti region currently, for that of September, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is at 42.26. Means he's not leading emphatically, that like we see in maybe Northeast, for example, which is Northeast, which is 86.05.
For Dr. Bawumia?
Exactly.
Oh, wow, that's huge.
Yes, but there's this thing about population density. And population density is very important. I don't know if you can come back just to show, okay, back again. So, lest I forget, you see the undisclosed is all here, the undecided is all here, the total is over there, and this is the undisclosed and then the undecided. Now, I want to use the total delegate size just to explain this. If you pick, for example, Northeast, you're having 3,490.
Oh, so you can have 100% of it, but the numbers,
yes,
the real numbers
exactly.
are not.
So that's how.
Okay, that's interesting.
Now, this 3,490, for example, is less than 10% of Ashanti region. It's less than 10% of.
So you can pick all of 100% here. If you don't do well in Ashanti, you're still behind.
That's come in 2023, the two-horse race. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong won just 2 regions. It was Central and Volta, and then came close at 47 and 53 in Greater Accra, and yet got 37%. Because
Dr. Mahmoud was won 14 regions.
Yes.
And got 60%.
And 61%.
61%.
Yes.
And Kennedy won 2 regions.
Yes.
And was on 37, half of what he got.
Yes.
That's interesting. I get it. Okay. So let's get back to the percentages. So Kennedy is doing 42 in Ashanti.
Exactly. So what happens is that August, we found out that Bono East and then Ahafo. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was leading the worst case scenario. But then when we moved to September, Ahafo has switched to Kennedy Agyapong. Bono has switched. Bono East remained the same.
So in terms of the regional, Kennedy Agyapong has Ashanti, Ahafo, Bono for September. Dr. Bawumia has control over Bono East. Kennedy has Central. Eastern is not Brian?
So Eastern is the surprising part we had in September. So in August, Brian was actually leading. And this is what is happening. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong in 2023, the votes that he has increased a little bit, not too much.
In
Eastern. And then we have Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the biggest loser in Eastern, because Dr. Brian Agyapong is taken away from his votes. Then something happened in Eastern with the 15 MPs and all other things that happened. Some people switched a little bit. And while the 2 of them are taken away from themselves, there is someone who is constant there. So let's assume that you have 9 and I have 7 and he has maybe 3. The 3 takes 3 from your 9, you get to 6. And then you get to 6 too, but the one at 7 remains constant, so the 7 sails through as well. So whilst that goes on, he sails through.
Greater Accra region has Kennedy Agyapong as well, at 50%.
At 50%.
A bigger percentage than Ashanti.
Yes, a bigger percentage.
How did Kennedy do in Greater Accra in the last one?
47.
And Dr. Bawumia, 50-something?
53.
Oh, Kennedy had as much as 47 in.
Yes.
Oh, that was a lot.
Yes.
In Greater Accra region?
Yes.
47%.
Yes. Even just Adenta, for example, was just by one vote. He won by 728-727. That is how.
Dr. Bawumia won by a single vote.
Kennedy Agyapong.
He won the Adenta constituency.
Yes.
In 2023.
A single vote.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Adenta.
Yes.
Hey. Well, this time Adenta is for Kozimenu, so I'm sure that it's going to be a big story for Dr.
Yes.
Bawumia. But anyway, so he has control over half of Greater Accra.
Yes.
Is this true?
Now look at the surprising thing. Look at the best case scenario.
Oh, with the best case scenario, he shoots up to 56, commanding lead.
Yes. So majority of the undecided in Greater Accra are looking more at Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Dr. Bawumia comes up with a lead in Northeast, in the northern region, where he's doing 61%. That's quite significant. In OT region, he's doing 43% and leading.
So
why is there a big split in OT region? Why is he leading at 43?
So OT is also, like I told you, as well. So OT and Savannah. So here he has 51, here he has 43, and these places can change.
Okay. Upper East region, Dr. Bawumia picks it up again. So even with this, Dr. Bawumia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 16 regions. Yes. That means Kennedy Agyapong has 9. That should be a big jump for Kennedy from 2023 then.
Yes, a huge one. A huge one. Because, for example, Western North wasn't, but now it is. Western region wasn't, now it is. That's based on August and then September polls.
Central region, you put Kennedy at 64.
Yes, Central region, yes, at 64. But he could look at it.
Ooh! In Central region, he has Kennedy at 64.
Yes.
In the best case scenario, he has Kennedy at 83.
Yes.
Is that not enough at this stage to call Central region for Kennedy in January?
So for places I can call for, Central I can confidently call for, Voter I can confidently call for, just like he did previously. Western North, I think most of the 9 from August up to September, he has increased and he keeps increasing. That's why, I mean, some of them were saying...
What's happening in Ashanti? Why is he leading with 42? Is everyone getting something over there?
No, so Ashanti region, the first most important thing is that you have Dr. Yao-Seh Duchum in the race.
Yes, very much so.
Exactly. And he is also taken from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Oh, I see.
And
so that's what is weakening Dr. Bawumia.
Exactly. So what is actually...
What about Kwabena Agyapong? He's also from Ashanti.
So Kwabena Agyapong, I think for some reason, is yet to... His message now is working. You could see a change from August to September, but he's still not been well grounded yet among the delegates. I think with time it will come up.
Does he have time up to January?
His message is going down very well. His message is going because in percentage terms, he's the biggest winner even in the September polls.
What is his message? Do you know?
So his message is trying to tell them is that basically it is time for the party to go back to its roots. So we need to go, there's a lot of things going wrong in the party. Let's get back to the fundamentals of the party.
And so he's doing, let's go back to basics.
Yes, let's go back to the basics. And people.
What's Kennedy Agyapong's message?
So Kennedy is all about employment.
Employment?
Yes.
I'll give you jobs.
Yeah, he's talking about social,
I swear to God.
Yeah, he's talking about social contracts. And he's telling the people about Didija and the fact that, so he has a social contract that he's given to the delegates.
I'll do this for you.
And he's telling them that what he's going to do is that he's going to get jobs for them. And the jobs, they are Ghanaians. And therefore, and the jobs is resonating with them. Because now, I would say free SHS is the biggest blessing that we've had so far. But because of free SHS, we have more people who are educated. We have less jobs waiting for them. And people are thinking that where would my child go? Where would they find a job? And then he's telling them how he's going to do. And what he's doing is that he's being very practical when it comes to every constituency, every region. He has a specific message for all of them.
What is Dr. Bawumia's message?
So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's message currently is about the fact that we committed some mistakes. We did some errors. We are sorry for that. There are things that we think that, and then he talks about Didija, that we are going to ensure that there will be this warfare, we'll do this, we'll do that, and so on and so forth. And the people are, and he's also telling them that he went, and therefore he's the most marketable candidate, he's the most prepared, and for that reason we should give him another chance.
What is Dr. Duchum's message?
So Dr. Duchum's, amazingly, he still hits on the education, that there's my track record in education, and with education we can actually change the country. And then he's also telling them that we need, as a party, to get united. So he's acting like the unifier person, saying that let's get united, and so on and so forth.
What's Lion Brian's message?
So Brian is actually with one of the strongest messages for his people, telling them that where we are heading to, we need a revolution. So he is actually going for an entire revolution, a change of the system. It didn't work, let's drop and then come for a new person. We need new energy, new...
So his message is saying don't vote for Dr. Bawumia. Is that really
His message is saying that it didn't work. Not necessarily Dr. Bawumia.
Whatever we did didn't work.
It didn't work. And we need new person,
new people at all levels.
No, he's talking about himself. We need a new person, new energy, new... And that's what he's saying.
And he says he has that new energy.
Yes, he believes that he has that. He believes that he has that.
I see. That's good on the original one. This is the same thing representing the map of it, the savannah and all of that. And so this is your conclusion.
And all that, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the original is another video. Now,